Welcome back, everyone, to Breaking Business, episode part 2.
Yes, sir.
This is the second episode.
Second
Yes.
episode.
Yeah.
With a special guest, famous B-boy around the world, B-boy Gravity. Say what up.
What's the deal, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all living?
I got
What's
my
the deal?
co-host, Zeku.
What it do?
The
Good to have
fellas.
you, man. Good
My
to have
dog.
you. Welcome
I
to
feel like-
Miami.
Yo, you know I love it out here. Come on with it. I feel like
Wait,
I feel,
where you
yes.
from, bro? Like, let the people
Oh
know
yeah,
where you're from.
yeah,
'cause-
yo. So I'm from New York, originally born and raised, where I actually fell into like breaking in general, and now I live in Phoenix, Arizona, for about 10 years now with my family. It's just like it's incredible there, bro. It's just originally I moved there just because of the weather.
Yeah. You did a little bit of time in LA too, right?
Yeah, I did. I like gave it a shot. And I worked with some people out there, and they have an awesome facility. It's just that I think in general, sometimes, I get excited about just working hard in general, and I feel like I was just putting too much on my plate. So I just had to like take a step back, come back to home base, and then be like, okay, this is what I need to focus on. When you get excited, all these opportunities pop up. You feel you're moving real fast. You start to put too many eggs in different baskets, and I wasn't feeling that.
Yo, speaking of that, like, how do you balance your life, like, with being a famous B-boy traveling? People don't know that you're actually a father.
Yeah.
You're a husband, an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yo, how do you balance, like...
I'll be honest. I think Bianca, that's my fiance's name. We might as well say we're married. We've been together 10 years now. We just did 10 years. And I think she is the reason. I think...
Your foundation.
She is my foundation. Yeah, because it's very difficult to be able to like for instance, I was just home for 2 days and I left again. Now I'm gone for 5 days, and and it's holiday season, and I got home 2 days before Thanksgiving, and I was there for Thanksgiving. I left the next day. It's very difficult to keep up with it. For me mentally, it sucks. Like it's really difficult. I really love my family. I miss them all the time, especially my daughters and my son. And honestly, even when I'm home, sometimes I feel like I'm still working, and I explain to my family, and they know. My kids know, like, we've had nothing, and they know the most important thing is that right now what we're doing is sacrificing, and they know what sacrifice is, So if I was to call my son right now and be like, hey, G, why do I travel? And like, because you got to work. Why do I work? Because we're trying to buy this house. Like, my son is 7 years old. He will say that. And my daughter knows.
You work for your family.
Every day.
So that's your motivation behind your push to work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big reason why I actually don't party like that anymore. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Same.
Like, if I'm out drinking and shit like that, I might as well just be home with my kids and my lady.
Exactly.
So instead, and a lot of people don't mess with me in the scene anymore because of that. They're like, yo, Gravity's, he's different now. He's not about the culture. Recently, I just heard and all this stuff, and it's like, yo, bro, I just don't got time to be drinking.
Really?
Drinking brings the worst out of me.
You're at a different level, man. Like,
Yeah.
they can't level with you right now. You're matured. You're at a different level. That's why they don't see you like that.
Yeah, and a lot of b-boys, some have kids, but most of them don't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't have a lot of responsibility. Some of them are just roommating, like they have roommates, and that's cool. There's nothing against that, you know what I'm saying? But right now, like, I got 5 people and a big ass dog at home that I got to make sure is chilling every day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, quick question. Like, for those who are familiar with us, they know what you do. But to the normal person who's just tuning into our podcast, like, what is it that you do? Like, why do you travel to all these places? Why is it that you've moved from coast to coast? Like, why is it that you're gone on holidays? Like, what is it that you do? What is it about your career or the business ventures that you've involved yourself in that have made you make these decisions?
So when I first started breaking, my goal was to be the Tony Hawk of breaking. That was my dream. That was my goal. And then it became to be the Rob Deerdeck of breaking. And the reason I travel so much, like this year was barely any competition, so it's not even about the competition. I believe that if I'm going to build a brand worth buying or worth being a part of, I have to build worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can go and print a shirt, but why buy it? There has to be a meaning behind it. And I want to, and also, like, the first couple years of breaking, like, I didn't document my travels. I can't even remember some of my travels. Now, I want my kids to know that there's more than just their state. Some kids don't leave the country. Some kids don't leave their state. Some people don't leave their block. And I want my kids to be inspired by that in the future. I want other people to be inspired by that in the future. I can go back to New York, and I know exactly where to find the people I started breaking with, and I don't want to be that person. But when it comes to like, you know, I have my shirt line, you know, which took me time to build, but my shirt line is now evolving into something a little bit bigger and better. And
elaborate on that, because we're wearing it right now.
Yeah,
Catch
so my brand is called Catch Rec, and the rec is actually an acronym for with raw essence and knowledge. You know, so
nice.
without like actual experience, you really don't know what you're doing. So you can go to college and get a degree, but then you got to actually do the surgery to know what you're really doing. And so that is like the brand and what we represent. And W's, everybody wants to win. You know, it don't matter what you win. You could win a free shirt. You loving it. Your day was made.
Now, quick question: is there a link that we can provide everybody with in the description below, to where they can purchase these shirts or any gear that you drop?
So actually, right now there isn't.
Okay.
The way the brand goes is I'm not in any financial position. My brand is only going to grow with my financial capabilities.
Okay.
So right now I don't have a website, but right now because the brand is so young, I like to hand you your shirt.
Yeah. So can we link them to your profile and have them contact you personally?
Of course.
I think the buying experience is a lot more personal and it's more meaningful when you can actually be in contact with the creator.
Yes, and you can definitely check out, you know, what we do on social media, especially on Instagram and on YouTube. On YouTube, it's GravitTV. You know, you can just search up GravitTV. It literally is the first thing that comes up. GravitTV, GravitTV on Instagram as well.
We'll put a little I'll hook it up with a little
bless
thing
it, bless it real quick.
Little GravitTV right here. My name here, his name here. It'll be cool.
And then Catch Rec on Instagram as well. You know, except this is not spelled with a C. It's WREK. And honestly, it took some time, man. I had so many different ideas for shirts and stuff like that, but you know, now that I have my brand, I have my logo, I have what it actually represents, now I'm on a mission to just kind of like live the actual brand. So now I'm out there catching wreck, you know, and that's why I travel so much when I don't even have to. And some events, I did an event for free, bro, because I know that in order for me to touch that market, they actually have to know what I'm doing. So a lot of this is just putting in work and you know, it's basically paving my own road right now.
Do you think that people underestimate free work when it comes to being an artist?
Ooh, yeah. I think
because like the caliber that you have,
right?
You know, and the name that you have, it's a heavy name. It carries a lot of weight, you know. For you to be like, oh, I did this free event. I think a lot of people be like, Gravity does stuff for free.
Yeah,
I think free work is necessary.
Yeah, can you explain why? Because some people don't understand. Some people think they need to get paid right off the jump, and they don't understand that free will actually get you more in the door than anything.
So it depends on my market, right? So like for instance, I got recently reached out to do a performance in China, and these people are very familiar with breaking. Off the rip, it was $1,000 a day just to be there. It's not including food and hotel. But then I know that I'm starting my brand, and they know who Gravity is, right? They can expect Gravity, but I'm going to show up there with a couple of other people, and we're going to represent Catch Rec. Well, you know what? The first event, man, let me show you why you're going to want us at your 40 events in 2020.
Exactly.
And so actually, so I did this recent free event. I did an event. It was, mind you, bro, the amount of money that these people were getting donated to them in front of my face. It was like, I think they made $15,000 in 3 minutes. In 3 minutes. So this is the amount of money that's there.
Cha-ching.
Can we zoom into my face when I look?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Can
like,
we get that?
And now that's the market that I want to be involved in. We can get any kind of kids to come over and break. Why do we want you guys? Well, listen, let me show you how we do our show real fast. That next day, I got called and they're like, hey, listen, we're thinking about having a lunch with you. Can you come in? And we have 40 events set up for 2020. What's it going to take to have you guys on board? Well, this is my price. You know what I'm saying? But that would have never happened if I would have charged them $500. Then they would have been like, well, this is a $500 show. We'll see if we have a budget for that. But if they like a show, they like something that you provide or a product that you provide, and you show them before there is even a price, they don't even know what it could cost. Then they're like, okay, hey, how bad do we want this in there? Let's figure out a budget. And I can hit them with my number. Maybe they can't hit that number for the first year, but they're gonna try. But if I would have gave it a price range in the beginning, then they would have been like, well, this is what this show is worth, and that's gonna make me work harder to make more money. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes we have to sacrifice. Like sometimes I even tell myself, like, man, I'd rather do this shit for free than to get $50 or $100 for the show, because then if I really want to charge them, then they know what they're getting. they know why it's worth this. But if they can get it for that, then they might as well, you know. And so that's why sometimes I feel like, you know, doing something for free, not all the time, but you know, for the most part, you know, sometimes you gotta do that to give back, or like even with your homies, you know, you know, we gotta build together, and that's the problem. You know, I was actually recently heard that in more I don't know if I should even say, like, I'm gonna just keep it real. Okay, so the way it was told to me was
Breaking Business
in like white communities and more financially capable, you know, communities, the money circulates for about a week and a half before it sees an outsource. But then you have in like Spanish, like Latino and Black communities that aren't as financially privileged, it doesn't even see it within a day. The money doesn't even circulate for a day because we're over here outsourcing. You know what I'm saying? But if we could show each other like our values, then I could hook you up to do this, to do that, to do this, and now here we go, and now you have a team, and the money can circulate, and that's something that you're only gonna get with free time, or not time, but you know what I'm saying, like with offering something for free.
Exactly.
And it's not really free; it's like an investment.
Yeah, it's
the most valuable thing we own is time, right?
Exactly.
So,
and you're building your work ethics like,
every day
from there.
Yes,
so,
of course.
So, speaking of money, brand,
Mm-hmm.
like coming from a b-boy, like that's back in the days that was unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what can you give the viewers, like, advice and like how to start companies, like as an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Like, I see you and I don't see you as just a b-boy.
Mm.
You're an entrepreneur. We could say we're hustlers,
Yeah.
for lack of term, you know.
Yeah.
But elaborate on that. Like, I know you, and like you're not just about the shirt. Like, you have other things going on in your life. Like, what else are you doing? Like,
so just to be clear, I actually don't consider myself an entrepreneur. I strive to be an entrepreneur. Right now, I consider myself a hustler. I consider myself a solopreneur. An entrepreneur for me is somebody that is building multiple brands and it's generating revenue. That for me is an entrepreneur. It's a level of success, you know, through hard work. So right now I still consider myself a solopreneur and a hustler, because this could fail tomorrow and shit. Well, I gotta try again. And then you're an entrepreneur when your business is generating sales. You know, that's just my opinion. That's what keeps me focused. There's multiple things, obviously. Like, not only do I have my own clothing line, but we want to strive to be more. So I have a sneaker coming out in 2020, and that's really
hold on.
That's really
a sneaker.
Yeah.
An
sneaker.
entire sneaker, shoe.
Yeah, totally designed. Started off as in a sketchbook, and I was like, man, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No, you're not just gonna
Stay
say,
tuned.
I'm gonna create a sneaker, and then just we're gonna go into the next thing. Like, what? Like, you're gonna create a sneaker.
Yes.
What's the process behind that?
So
I want to know the point in your life, like the day that you were like, I'm gonna make a shoe.
Yeah. So
Like,
it
what
was
made you
actually
think
I
that?
actually remember that. I remember that moment. It was like 2 a.m. I was home and I was editing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was 2 a.m.
That's usually when those ideas come to mind.
and I was editing. I wanted a YouTube channel too. Like I started filming.
which you do have.
Yeah, I do have a YouTube channel, and it's
We'll
growing.
We'll have a link.
No doubt.
Everything will be linked.
And it's been good, and it was growing, and then I started editing videos, and then I started realizing, like, I'm really big on brand awareness. So how is Gravity TV different? And what can I started, and then of course with Monster, you know what I'm saying, like, whatever the case is. So I'm always thinking about brand awareness, and I'm like, man, how do I get my own brand out there? And this is 2 years ago, and I was like, man, every time I'm recording, I'm looking and I'm like, yo, that sneaker is fire. And I must have said that to myself mad times that night, like, man, that sneaker is fire. Those sneaker, dang, what if I had my own sneaker? And I started doing research, right? I was like, damn, I want to create my own sneaker. So I came up with this sketch real fast. I just drew it up real fast, and it came out ugly as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was ugly, and I was like, man, let me keep looking. I kept trying, and finally I had my prototype, at least the design that I wanted, that I liked. And I started doing research on how to actually make this happen. Bro, there's so much terminology with the parts of the sneaker, the insole, the outer sole, like, yo, all of this stuff. And then there's actual technology, like, as far as what kind of foot structure do you have and all this stuff. And I started doing this research, And I'm like, well, if I want to create a shoe for breaking, like we don't have a breaking shoe, bro. Like, and then I started thinking, like, how can I be different?
So this shoe is catered to the breaking community.
Yeah, it's for the breaking community, and it's and when I say it's for the breaking community, I mean on all levels. You know, not just comfortability, durability, but fashion, bro. We out there to look fresh too. You know what I'm saying? We got a standard here. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember I was like, I found out how much it was gonna cost, and it was absurd. It was an absurd amount of money, and it was like an absurd amount of traction. Like, bro, I had to go from here to Oregon to go find somebody. Actually, my shoe designer right now, who's actually doing all my sketches and everything, he's in Pakistan, and we just signed a bunch of contracts and a bunch of fucking like NDAs and stuff like that, and had to have them like notarized and like, yo, this is important shit right here. This is everything. It's all I got. Yeah. And I realized how much money it was gonna cost. And I came up with Catch Rec. So Catch Rec is, a lot of people don't know, but I started a business venture where I had a training facility. I tried to branch out with some friends, and we didn't have contracts and stuff like that, and they stole the whole business plan, and it turned me off from doing business with friends. There's people out there like that, and mind you, I've known these guys since I was younger. But whatever the case is, I'm over it. I'm not even mad. They're doing great. Good for them. I realized my passion is not in teaching anymore, coaching. I like to teach, and I can help, and I have a lot to offer, but that's not my passion. You know, no. And so
before you continue on that, just because it's a business oriented, the podcast, some people will go through that, you know, where like, let's say they'll try and give an opportunity to their friends or their families, and then it'll actually backfire on them. And I feel like a lot of people feel like, man, like, I don't want to keep doing this. These dudes stole my entire idea. Like, what's your advice to somebody who will go through that or has been through that and probably just feels like stop and doesn't want to keep going, because you're still going. Look, now you have your own clothing line, coming out with a freaking shoe. Like, that's crazy. Like, I think it
says it on his arm.
What? Oh, it says I never quit. Yeah.
So what's the advice that you would give to not just a breaker, but an aspiring businessman? Since you entrepreneur, for you is different, an aspiring business person or individual. Well, what's your advice if something like that were to happen to them?
I really believe that everything is a test, and I believe that God is going to test you every single day. And he's like, oh yeah, you want that? Hey, go fuck that up real quick. How bad you want it? Oh, you still? Hey, go get that real quick. How bad you want it? I'm gonna give it to you, but you're gonna work for it. And that was something that I had to learn. I was distraught when I felt like my business was like kind of stolen. I was distraught when I felt like nobody had my back. I was distraught when I realized like that energy brought more negativity. You know what I'm saying? And so when I realized like, oh, it's all good, man. Hey, are you doing good now? Oh, you guys got it. You guys, oh man, yo, your program is killing it. Yo, no doubt, that's good, man. Good for you. Like if I wouldn't have, like we wouldn't have had that, maybe you wouldn't have had that. Some people need it more than others. You know what I'm saying? So like for instance, you ever like lose your phone? You know somebody else picked that up. Maybe that person couldn't afford an iPhone. Now they go and they switch it out, and maybe you didn't have a passcode, and it just worked out for that person. And look, how bad you want it. At the end of the day, life is gonna keep moving, and you're gonna keep walking. It's like a not an escalator. Yeah, we can use an escalator. It's gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like it's with or without you. You just gotta get on it.
So
you know
mindset.
Yeah, it's very big on mental. It's really big, and I've had those points where I've given up, and then I remember I reminded myself like,
you took a break. You didn't give up.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stopped and I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Reflection.
Like, yes, I had to really do that. And then I was like, maybe I'm not meant to do this. That's why that happened. Okay, well, let me walk this way real fast. And so Catch Rec, really, for me, it just represents hard work. And the W can represent not just winning, but hard work. How bad do you really want it? And, you know, and to really sit there and just keep pushing and catching wreck. And, like, this right here is how I plan to afford my shoe. And right now I'm halfway to my, actually I'm 70% financially capable to actually purchase my, like, everything.
And I think it's great because, one, the shirt's great quality. It's comfortable. I like it. It's really good quality. And you're not just selling a product. You know, I have products that I sell as well. And we tell people, like, we don't sell product. We sell a purpose. There's a purpose behind buying this T-shirt, you know? I'm not just buying a T-shirt. I'm buying a T-shirt to help you build a shoe that might benefit me in the future, because I'm a breaker. So it might benefit me. So I'm purchasing purpose. It's not just a product.
And a lot of people don't know. Cool. And I don't know. You know what? I would do this. You never know. I mean, my shoe may drop, and it may sell out and it may go big, and I may hit up everybody who ever purchased a shirt and offer you a share in the company. Whoever, because I'm not making any more of these.
We're gonna drop that link for y'all.
You understand? So like, hey, you never know.
Link.
Maybe you'll get a share in the company. You know what I'm saying? Like my goal is to be like Nike. You saw the book. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal.
I think that's where entrepreneur. You said earlier you don't consider yourself an entrepreneur, but an entrepreneur like gives like they take risk.
Yes.
And I think that's what's very important in starting businesses. Like when Zeku started his gym. It's a risk, bro. Like you don't know if you're gonna get that money back or what you invested on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like that's very important. Like not to quit or give up in the midway.
Yeah, it's more exciting to find out. Personally, for me, it's more
like
exciting to find out.
You never know.
Straight up.
Yeah. One quote that I really live by. Well, it's not even really a quote, but actually, it kind of is, right? So Dwayne Johnson said, "Man, this shit is wild." He said, "Making it to the NFL." Was the best thing that never happened to him.
Oh yeah, I seen that. It's true.
Wow.
It's true.
Because that was his dream, and it was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think I am. I compete in breaking at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? And when I wanted to do gymnastics, when I was doing gymnastics, I wanted to be in the Olympics, and then I found breaking.
Wait, hold on. You actually almost made it to the Olympics.
Yes, 2012. I was supposed to go to the Olympics and for breaking out. That was the plan. That was the goal. I knew all the right people. I was killing it. I was murdering the game, bro.
So some people are probably watching and going, you almost made it to the Olympics for gymnastics.
Yeah.
And then you quit to transfer into a niche that had no financial stability.
No.
Like, gymnastics, you could have been fine.
So before there was
decision?
I like to be a part of things that are nothing, and that's really like I really like that. Like for me, it's like to say like, yo, we did it. Like that feeling is epic, So when I found breaking, I felt like in gymnastics it came really easy. I did really well, and a lot of people like had a lot of hope for me. I had scholarships offered and everything. And the biggest thing for me was like with breaking, I felt like I was free. I could do whatever I wanted. And I knew that there was no Tony Hawk of breaking. You understand? Mm. And I was playing video games. You know what I'm saying? I was a sheltered little kid. So I thought it was the illest thing in high school. And so I actually wanted to be in the Olympics for breaking. Like I thought it was cool when I heard it was going to happen. And that was dope, bro. But that's actually no longer a dream of mine. Mm. And my dream, I can't wait to see everybody else in the Olympics. Like, that's going to be, for breaking, it's going to be monumental. But for me, yeah, I already know. I already can't wait. For me, you already know, dog. Hey, we've been talking about this since before it was all even happening for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
W's are coming.
Yeah, the W's are coming. But my dream with the Olympics, I want to see everybody in breaking that's competing in the Olympics in a pair of some W's.
Yo, you see that right there, what you said? Like, you're thinking about others and not yourself. I think that's what separates you from other b-boys or like that may be watching that they only think about themselves. Sometimes we forget the community that we started with, and like that's very important you saying that, because you get your joy out of seeing other people succeed.
So I get excited, bro.
That.
Thank you, bro. I get excited. It was because of my injury though. Like it pulled me out of the competitor mind state, and it helped me become a fan of the dance again. And being out for a whole year, meanwhile, I did this nonstop, never took a break it was 14 years at the time, 13 and a half, and then getting injured for a whole year allowed me to literally take a step back. And, nobody was filming us at these battles, bro.
That's true.
I was like, nah, I got a camera, let's go. I put in a request, and I showed up at almost every competition that I could for the team and create content for them, because not only was it going to make me better at editing, but it was going to provide worth for my team, which nobody wanted to help us do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think there's just so many different ways to approach success, like, and when it allowed me to take a step back and I started watching you guys, like through my own camera on my computer editing. When you edit, you know what I'm saying? It takes hours to edit. So you sit there and you watch the same clip over and over and over. And I'm like, damn, yo, I don't think they see what he's really what he's really doing, or like that's for the whole team, And I don't feel like people really know outside of breaking. Like, people don't know us outside of breaking. And that's why these platforms, they're in the very beginning stages. But like I said, I like to be a part of things that are just starting. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't know, bro, like what we're truly capable of. As long as we stick together, we work together, and we build together, bro, it's infinite.
Yeah.
It's freaking infinite.
So before we wrap up, this was great. This was amazing. There's another thing that separates you, because I know you said that separates him, but there's one thing personally for me that separates you from the rest of all the breaking community.
Another one.
And I think it's the main reason why a lot of people they have very genuine respect for you because it was shown, it was displayed, you know. I forgot what year it was in, but I had just started breaking and I was just looking up clips of like breaking. And there's actually a very famous clip of you on YouTube punching another b-boy at a breaking competition. What? All right, hold on. Can we pull that footage up? Is that possible? Can we pull that up? Yeah.
Yo.
Let's watch this right here. Let's watch this right here.
Oh man,
right.
I haven't seen this battle in a long time.
So he's doing his round.
No, that's Hoorah. That's my dog. We had
okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're gonna just fast forward it.
It's after him, right?
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Oh
So
man.
he's doing his round. This is in New York.
Yeah, no, it's just 2 hours outside. It's upstate.
So you come in, he gets in the way, and
Hey, everybody act like they ain't never seen a punch before. Yo.
oh man. What? Okay, so before we wrap up, like,
All right.
what was the reasoning behind it? What was going through your mind? I know you
really
were
gonna bring that up.
You were a different
We have
person. Nobody's ever asked you, and you my dog, so I had to bring it up.
Breaking Business.
Now,
Yeah.
this is a little saucy clip for y'all. What were you thinking? You were a different person. But what were you thinking in that moment when you felt yourself crash into him?
So there's a backstory, you know what I'm saying? Besides the fact that, you know, breaking was my outlet at one point, you know what I'm saying? So we were talking earlier about like just who I was and how long I was being bullied. You know, I was bullied all from when I was like in elementary school all the way up until I had my first fight in junior high school, and then I became like what some people could call me like, it was like the devil at one point, you know, like I was really mean, bad person. And the issue was that a lot of people were like saying some mean things to me coming up in the scene. You're a gymnast, you're whack, da-da-da-da, and whatever, you know, you take that in and you express it through breaking and you start smoking fools. But I started traveling and I would do the double backflip. You know what I'm saying? And it was like the move that when I did the double backflip at that time, it was like, yo, you lost. If you were the guy that got double backflipped on, you lost.
It still is that way.
It still is. I ain't gonna lie. And it does still have that same effect. And
you do that to me, we fighting.
Yo. So Lil Kev, I'm in France, and Lil Kev, we're battling. Me and Kid Glide, we're battling 2-on-2. Me and and I go for the double backflip. Lil Kev tries to slide under me while I do it. Clips my hand. When he clips my hand, I still go for the move, right? So in gymnastics, it's called when in doubt, tuck it out. You do not bail. You go for the move, because if you don't, you're dead. And so you go for the move, boom, 1, 2, and the way it goes is you can count the win, right? So boom, boom, and you automatically know how many flips you completed. So it was 1, 2, and I already knew, oh my God, because I could still see, so I already saw the floor coming before the second flip, but you don't stop. And the first thing that hit was my 2 knees while I was still holding, and I barely let go to barely stop my face from smashing the floor, and I still hit my face. I remember I got up, and I remember like the amount of anger that I had. I thought to myself, today's the day I'm gonna commit murder. Like that's what I thought to myself, straight up. Like, bro, I could have died. What would have happened if I would have died?
Yeah.
And so I looked at Lil Kev, and I remember, bro, I thought to myself, like, bro, you do not want to go to jail in France. That's what I thought to myself.
Yeah.
So I had to swallow some pride real fast, which was hard for me, especially even at that time. Because at that time I was fighting on a regular basis. Outside of breaking, I was fighting every day. Like, it was normal. And I remember I had to swallow some pride that day, and I remember that plane ride home. We won that battle. They disqualified them, whatnot, and man, I remember that day I told myself, yo, if anybody ever tries to fuck with me again in breaking, I'm gonna lay them out. I'm just gonna show the whole world. And it's funny because I told myself on the plane ride home from France, I said, I'm gonna show the whole world why you don't fuck with me. And it just so happened, and I was angry, bro, you know, like I thought to myself, like, what if I would have landed straight on my head? Then what? You know what I'm saying? Then what? And so whatever the case is, I go back home, months go by. Nothing happens, it's whatever. The video dies out, nothing, no big deal. It's like first everybody was making fun of me that I crashed. Nobody cared. If I would have died, everybody like, Lil Kev's an asshole. But because I survived, it was cool. All right. So I go to this gym, we drive 2 hours up. It's like $400 prize. Me and Hoorah were hype. We go and we battle Jin. Jin is from my scene. That's his name, Jin. and because everybody calls him the guy who got knocked out, right? So his name is Jin, and he comes from I'm not even sure exactly what part of New York, but he has a training facility in New York. He actually teaches kids right now. So
that's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, so shout outs to him, man.
Yeah.
Good job for you, man. Like I said, man, like I don't really care. Like I'm over this, you know. And so whatever the case is, we're battling, and he knows my moves, bro. We practice together. We see each other at practice, bro. And I'm sorry, I'm not breaking that long. I only got so many moves. You know what I'm saying? Like that one that I was doing right there is
get
like
out the way.
It's a signature move, bro. You know when somebody, if I see Nagin about to go for a move, I'm gonna get out the way, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so, so whatever the case is, man, this fool just tried to like make me flinch. Now, mind you, if we play back the video, all right, he could have walked away after his round.
We're gonna play the video right now just so you guys can see it real quick.
So he could have walked away, but instead he decides to try and make fun of me that I'm a gymnast and do this whole flip, like making fun of me thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, mind you, I'm already upside down by the time he's doing that. My leg gets caught in his arm. You can see it in the video. In my head, I'm thinking not only did he try, because I can see him, but you can't, when in doubt, tuck it out, right? So you still go for the move. And I see that he did that, but I'm already upside down by that point. I felt my leg get caught. So in my head, I'm thinking, yo, this mother, he got the nerve. He grabbed me. So what did I think? That plane ride home, I said, it's going down. And then one thing, like, nigga, I don't miss. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't.
Nah, it's very clear. Like, I don't miss. That was not an accident. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember.
But you didn't even think about it.
Nah.
Like, it was like you got up and.
Yeah, you remember I was telling you, like, I come from a different mentality. There's nothing to worry about, bro. It's going down. The follow through is happening. And
the shoulder, my favorite part is the shoulder.
Yeah, there's some
It's
technique in there.
Sinks in,
a little bit of technique in there, right? And so whatever, I got up, and when I got up, I remember seeing his face on the way up. I remember seeing it, and it was like it was a solid cheekbone. I remember just feeling his whole face break in my hand, like. And then everybody rushed me, and I'm like, wait, y'all didn't see him? Like in my head, y'all didn't see him? Everybody rushed me. They kicked me out the gym, and it was a 2-hour ride back home, bro. But and then mind you, I stopped getting flown out. People stopped. Everybody. It was imagine, people were sending me hate mail messages like, I hope you die. I hope, like, fuck you, F your family. You know, I hope your daughter gets raped. Like, I was getting shit like that. And a lot of people don't know. And me and Bianca, like, we had to deal with a lot. A lot of people were saying some wild shit, bro.
Wow.
And one of them, including, was B-Boy Milky.
Oh.
And that's why he got checked real quick too. He knows what's up. But whatever the case is, like, you know, and that was squashed, you know. But
Chill.
it brought a lot. It brought a lot of negativity to me, and even possibility of not getting sponsored by Monster. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. We had to make some promises and let him know. And even if so, like, I thought to myself too, like, man, what if I would have hit that dude so hard that his life would have changed? Yeah. I'm sure for some time it did, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the fact that you knew his name, I didn't know you knew his name.
I know
actually
him.
know about his life or how it was going on. Like, yo, respect to you, but that says a lot about you, that you actually cared. Yeah, the person you might have heard of, hurt.
So I knew him by name before this. Obviously we didn't click. He was in different crew and stuff like that. That's all good. And again, it could have been anybody. It was just that mentality, that mind state. Imagine almost losing your life. Yo, a lot of people don't know, being that high in the air, going that fast, and then the first thing that hitting the floor is your face. It'll change you. It'll make you think like, yo, people don't care about your life.
Watch the video again.
They don't. I really feel like they don't care about your life, bro. You know, and so for me, I'm thinking like, well, if you don't care about my life, dog, it's going down. You know, and so mind you, like, it could have been anybody that did that to me. You know, and I'm glad that we're over it now, and I'm glad that we've moved past it. And it's not something I want to ever have to do again, even though it almost happened one more time. But it's not. I mean, it could go there, but the truth is, I don't ever want it to go there.
So the reason some people might see this, and we're gonna close it up right here, but some people might see this and be like, oh, why did they bring that up? Oh, that's so old. And it's because nobody's ever heard your side. Actually, I never even heard about the hate mail. Yeah. So nobody's ever heard your side, and I think everybody's seen that video and go, dude, Gravy's a freaking dick. Like, why did he really have to punch him? You know?
I get that all the time too. Like, why did you even hit him?
Yeah,
it's like,
so
yo, bro.
I think, the clip it's a good clip, but I think people needed to hear your side of the story because I don't think you were given that platform to be able to talk about it and actually elaborate on what actually happened. So, thanks for coming through, Gravity.
Yo, man, keep it up, bro. I love that, bro. I love that, y'all. Like, you started with a dream, You know what I'm saying? And I love that. Then you built your facility. I love that you have your team. You know, it's not just you and Dre. You know what I'm saying? You have your sound guy, you got your camera guy, you got your whole team here.
Yeah.
I think that's epic.
Thank you, man.
And I like that you can just utilize whatever space you have, and I'm proud of you, and I'm just really happy to even be a part of this.
Thank you, man. Super proud of you too, bro.
Yeah, we out here. We doing
All right, y'all. Breaking
We wrap it
Business,
up.
episode 2 with D-Boy Gravity, the host.
Aquí solo gana el que josea. Yo no soy el que guío, yo soy el que lo rocea. Un silenciador para que nadie me escuche ni me vea. Aquí se hace lo que sea. Papá Dios a mí me protege desde lo alto, y en la tierra a mí me protegen con los de asalto.